So anyways, he's walking up to the monastery, right? And this guy has just been having the worst time ever. He's cussing out his truck for breaking down on the way to the conference, and he knocks on the door and no one comes, but then he knocks again, and this old portly fellow walks out. "Ah, my child, how are you doing? How may I help you? Have you come to confession? I haven't seen you here before." And it's like, "Ah, no, Father, I didn't come to confess. Actually, my truck broke down just down the road, and I was wondering if you could, I hate to ask you this, but could I borrow your phone or something like this?" And the father kind of chuckles and he's like, "Oh, we're a monastery, my child. We don't have a phone, but the tow truck driver, he comes in for confession on Mondays, which is, well, that's tomorrow. So you can just wait here until then, and the tow truck driver will see you then." I really wouldn't want to impose. "Oh, it's not an imposition at all." So the monk takes him up and he goes, "Oh, let me give you the tour. Here's the kitchen. It's where we eat. We don't have much, but what we have is to share. Here's the prayer room. It's where we pray. We do that a lot here." And he leads him up this old set of stairs, and there at the top is this long hallway, and down at the end of it is this big black foreboding obsidian door. And then there's normal doors to the left and the right, and the monk turns to one of them and goes, "And this is your room. It's where you'll be staying." The guy goes, "This is the tour, right, Father?" "What's behind that big menacing black door?" And the monk turns very serious and he goes, "I'm sorry, my child. I cannot tell you that because you're not a monk." Then he goes back to his bed and it starts again. He can't sleep all night. He's laying there in bed, just absolutely horrified. 3 days and 3 nights, no tow truck driver in sight. And the scratching noise keeps coming. And every time he gets up to try and check it out, he sees it's behind the door. He knows where it's coming from. Every time he's talked to the father's given him the same answer. And so he walks up to him and he's like, "Father, I don't care if I need to be a monk or not. I've been here and there's no sign of the tow truck driver. You have to tell me, please, what is behind that door? It's been keeping me up for so long." And the father again turns all pious and serious and goes, "My child, I simply cannot tell you because you're not a monk." And the guy snaps and he's like, "Fine. What then do I have to do to become a monk? I need to know." And so he creaks down the hallway he's been down for those 40 years.
And he's a monk now.
Yeah, dude. He became a monk, he did all the things, and he's got the key. And he's ready to finally find out what's behind that door. And he passes that room where he stayed for those years, and he remembers all those nights that he spent listening to the scratchy noise, knowing he'd never find out what it was unless he was a monk. And now he is. And now he has the key. And he creaks his old bones over to the obsidian gate. And he puts the key in the lock and he turns it and it clicks. And he grabs the handle and he remembers the scratching
And what is it?
Well, just wait. He opens the door and he pushes it and it swings open, old but strangely smooth. And he sees what's behind the door. But I can't tell you because you're not a monk.
I hate you.
It's a good story. Really good story.
One evening as the sun went down and the jungle fire was a-burning, down the track came a hobo hiking, and he said, "Boys, I'm not turning. I'm headed for a land that's far away beside the crystal fountain. So come with me, we'll go and see the Big Rock Candy Mountain. In the Big Rock Candy Mountain, there's a land that's fair and bright, where the handouts grow on bushes and you sleep out every night, where the boxcars all are empty and the sun shines every day. There's the birds and the bees and the cigarette trees and the lemonade springs where the bluebird sings in the big rock candy mountains. The great philosophers of history all had one fatal flaw. They weren't stupid enough to think they could actually sum up all the big questions into one simple answer. Luckily, I have no such dilemma. So I found my purpose, to answer the most inconceivable of questions, the big why. I enlisted my friend from Toowoomba in my search, and we began with high hopes, assuming the key to happiness had been hidden within us all along. We sequestered ourselves in the mountains, waiting for revelations. None came, and we're nearly out of rice, and worse yet, snacks.
Isaac! Since when do you know how to juggle?
Come learn, bro.
What the? Yeah! How do... Did you run away to the circus one day or something?
Yeah, I did.
Okay. You wanna catch?
Since we haven't discovered the answer by crossing our legs and looking deeply within, I think next we'll try a different technique. Across this country are people with stories, purpose, and if we're lucky, meaning. Question enough of them, and we might find something worthwhile. We met a francophone artist in the days before we disappeared into the wild. If we return to society and track him down, maybe he can tell us how to be truly happy. And if that doesn't work, we'll keep looking until we find our answer, or until we run out of road. But you needn't worry about that. See, finding one concise answer to everyone's deepest question is gonna be easy. All we have to do is ask.